taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do is Shuttleworth the guy, aka the GOAT artist, aka LB Lauderdale boss, RainGangRadio.com in the building. World is out now. You know what it is, man. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good, y'all? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day. Let's go. If you want to know who's banned from the Bodega, that motherfucker Kenny Bayless, he not allowed in the Bodega.
Yes, sir.
Not now, not ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we throwing down in the Bodega, he would be the last person I would want reffing that. Like, nah. So, you ain't gonna be no good to us in the Bodega. So, yeah, you gotta leave. Go somewhere else.
Yo, straight facts, yeah. Yeah, because honestly, he probably fucked up somebody's bet, with his actions, man. Because we'll get more into that in a little bit, man.
It has shades of Josh Taylor and Ramirez.
It did, yo. It really did, yo. That's facts. You know what I'm saying? But we'll definitely get into that though. But I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's fly? It's your boy Conscious Pilot, the West Coast Avenger, #1 contender, preparing for liftoff, destination Ring Radio. Let's fly.
Yes, sir. Conscious Pilot. Days elevating above the clouds, you dig? And last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Always niggas missing their cues. It's in Rome was trying to log on.
Hey, introduce yourself already. Did you come on, man? Did you go all the way back to Chicago already? Come on.
I know, right? I'm saying, like, yo, Rome, introduce yourself.
Rome top 5 on the list you're not a part of.
I think he dropped out. Let's go.
Okay, well,
he'll be back.
He'll be back. Yeah, but man, we had a pretty damn good fucking weekend of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn good. You know what I mean? Hold up, man. Rome, introduce yourself. Else I'm gonna continue, bro.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Rome Top 5, Chicago's own in the motherfucking building. My bad, technical difficulties, but we here, nigga. We here. We ready to talk. Ring gang, nigga.
Yes, sir. Rome Top 5, aka Chicago win because he leaves these niggas in the breach, just like his connection. You know what I mean? So yeah, we had a damn good weekend of boxing, man. And before we go into that, promoters, this is how you put together at least a pay-per-view card. Like, it wasn't pay-per-view quality in terms on paper, but all the 4 fights, they meant something and they all delivered. This is something that everyone can learn from. This is a respectable template, because there was no slow spots from the beginning of the broadcast to the end of the broadcast. The shit was popping. The shit was lit. Like everything flowed. There was there was little bullshit commentary. Niggas talking.
No dead spots. Not too many advertisements.
Yeah.
You hear the in-ring commentary, the in-between rounds, no AutoZone, no bullshit, no the McDonald's app commercials, ESPN,
no Steven Jackson talking about whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, just dedicated for the fight, nothing else. It's like your pay-per-view dollars went straight to the fight. You didn't go toward, other shit. Like, you could tell you just got for the fight. So I just appreciate that, because the matchups were solid. Everybody has something to lose. Everybody has something to gain. Mm-hmm. The card started at 9:00. It kind of flowed good. And you know when you got a solid card is when the fights could go the distance without the threat of them fizzling out.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That's happened before, where you'll have a bunch of distance fights and they're good up until like the 7th round, and then after that they're like, and then it just drags to the pay-per-view main event, or the co-main don't hit. But nah, this shit hit. So yeah. Good. I'll probably give the card an A, a solid A.
Yeah, yeah, an A or 8.
A, like A.
Oh yeah.
Like the letter A, like report card.
Yeah. I thought we was doing our numerical shit, so that's why I was.
Oh, that's music. You know, for boxing, we always kind of like we always do like the report cards. We'd be like, all right, what's the showtime fall schedule? And niggas be like, C+. So that's why I was like, I get this whole card in the event, A.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely, and I concur with that too, man. It was definitely worth, just to watch it. Like there was no slow spots. Like it started off, of course, with the first fight that set shit off lovely with Abel Ramos and Cody Crowley, man. And that was honestly, because I had money on Ramos because I thought Ramos would probably at least, he might get dude drunk off the right hands though, but Crowley. Yeah, that motherfucker was determined. Like they hit his backstory with this, his pops committing suicide, and dude was just really determined, and they went to his backstory. Yeah, they went to his backstory, like how he was, I think, living in a car or a truck or whatever the fuck, and and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make it no matter what. Yeah, dude took that fight to Abel Ramos like he was man possessed.
He felt like he was homeless.
Listen, that nigga was just eating punches and laughing at him. Like, that shit was crazy.
Mm-hmm. I was just like, good lord, like it's like like he wasn't letting that dude breathe, and funny thing was Abel Ramos. I thought he would at least been able to adjust to that, but all he was doing was just getting muscle on the ropes, and then eventually he was timing right hands. So he was landing the occasional right hands, but he didn't have nothing else. He wasn't throwing no jabs, wasn't resetting.
But he was staying active though. You could tell he knew he was losing, but he kept trying to throw punches to stay in the rounds. But it wasn't, he was getting dominated.
Yeah, he was still getting outworked and shit.
Yeah, once Crowley got a little tired, once Crowley got tired second half of the fight, that's when he almost got dropped. But they used the replay and shit.
Yeah, but one thing too is like Crowley was solid for like a good 9 rounds. It wasn't just half the fight; it was like 9 rounds. Yeah. Then he had that one round he kind of took shit off.
He didn't taper until like maybe the 8th round or so, and even then it's like his taper is still like at 80%. Like
right,
he was still he was determined.
Ramos was too tired to even like he took a little advantage of it, but not like how he could have if he wasn't so worn out already from just trying to stay in the fight with dude, and that's what was happening. So
yeah. And it was the right hands, because I remember the first right hand, because Crowley was doing that weird ducking thing where he was really bending like low, and then the first time Ramos caught him, he caught with the right hand, like he caught him like solid, but then the second one, dude like really almost went down. But me, of course, I'm thinking, because I have a bet on this, I'm like, yes, the card got tightened, like this is what it is.
Is that like a dangerous style that Crowley got? Because I feel like he's so close to the ground when he do that shit. A nigga can just like come over the top and just like crush his shit with that.
Like if he faces the wrong guy, he's gonna get cracked.
He's gonna get killed. He's gonna get killed doing that shit. Like a uppercut will kill it.
I want to see him versus Barrios.
He'll beat Barrios. Like, sure. Come on now. Like he's gonna beat Barrios. Barrios doesn't have the power to really like hurt Crowley, like
him away.
But Barrios has the damn punch selection for him. One thing Ramos did, he was almost like he wasn't Nate Campbell in it, but he was like telegraphing the right hand. Like I felt like the uppercut was there for him all night, especially him being on the ropes and just he never just tried anything new.
He kept trying to go to the same combo. It's like, nigga, this nigga, he figured that combo out, try a new one.
Right.
And he was still working in spurts, but it's like, okay, you can land the right hand, but you're going to need a good follow-up punch, and it's like...
He never followed up.
Yeah, like, it worked. It worked when they were exchanging, but when he was trying to, like, apply pressure and shit, it's like that shit was just nothing. Like it wasn't gonna open shit up. But when they're exchanging, that little combo, right, left, right, that shit was working.
Yeah.
Well, that would have worked in exchanges too, though. Like he was there all day for it.
Yeah, he was.
What wasn't working was a jab. Like he only had like his jabs was like a single digits for a 12-round fight. Like I had never seen anything like that.
I mean, you got to throw it in order for it to work.
Wait, like, what? It was single digits for the whole fight?
Yes.
Yeah. It was.
Nigga.
Yeah,
That's disgusting. Is that nigga even a boxer?
There wasn't a jab in sight.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
that's the fundamentals. That's the first day of boxing class, nigga. What the fuck?
But honestly, the type of fight he had, the jab isn't what lost him the fight, though. Like,
although it would have helped.
a jab would have helped, but I think the uppercut was more. The uppercut and it just. If you're gonna sell out with power punches, sell out with them. Like I'm talking about Mayorga, Orlando, Salido. Sell out with all your power punches, not just one of them. When you got a left hook,
but look, if he was pumping that jab, he would have reserved some energy, been able to throw better power punches in the right time. But if you just throwing power punch after power punch, nigga, you gonna gas out and you're not gonna land.
I mean, you got a point with the jab. I feel you, but it's like if you watch his other fights, like he's not big on jabbing.
Yeah, no,
but he has jabbed more. But
you still gotta use it. You gotta use it.
Yeah.
No matter who you fighting, it doesn't matter if the nigga's good against the jab. It's like, how the fuck do you set shit up without jabbing?
That's the thing. Is like Crowley was right in front of him. He didn't really have to set shit up. Like almost like okay. Berto and Guerrero, as bad as Berto was getting whooped on the ropes with the fake ass shoulder roll and shit, that fucking uppercut was there all night and he was throwing it.
Yeah, and but the only thing is Ghost was just eating it and coming back for some more. Like,
sometimes you determined, and when you're up on a guy, like, but that's the thing. It's not just the uppercut. The uppercut left hook, like it's regular mid work. Like y'all niggas be on these mitts doing all the comp. Like do that shit in the fight too. Like.
Yeah, and Ramos, and if I was too, it's like the right hand definitely, like, I mean, the right hand, I thought he was gonna get drunk off it late though, but I mean, with that, the one that was called a knockdown, but you know, the instant replay called it like, hey, you know, it's not a knockdown, you know, and it was close too, but then I can see why Ramos didn't stop punching because, you know, if you hit somebody when you're down, you know, that's either a point or you can go for the DQ, so he was probably like, that's why he probably didn't like, you know. He could have nudged him, and that would have been a knockdown. But you know, but it sucked. I mean, they took it away because it wasn't because dude was maybe about inch. His ass was like an inch above the ground, and so was his glove. So it's like
it was close. Yeah, it was a close.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah. You know, but
in real time, it was hard to see, but the replay, yeah.
Yeah, so, but I mean, I didn't blame the ref for calling it, but the instant replay was there. So, yeah, PBC, you might want to keep doing that. You know, you want to keep some like consistency with that. So, yeah, like, you know, I don't want that just to be on some regular, like once in a while shit. You know, like
do that all the time now. Shit,
it should always be done. You know, common sense. This day and age.
Well, but now I'm gonna expect it, especially if I have some money on going on these fights. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that knockdown might have, you know, could have really tightened some things up on that card a little bit, you know. But it was still a hell of a fight though. That was a hell of an opener. Like that shit did not like wane. Like that shit went from one. And that was a 12 rounder too. Like that was
the fight didn't drag. One thing I gotta say is this though. You could tell a card is good by how early the seats filled up. And the motherfucking seats was filled up from the first round.
From the first round.
Like I was like, damn, I'm like, damn, did I get this shit late? No, wait, no. Like niggas was there before I could sit down. So yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. The energy was incredible for the fight, and I'm glad too because usually the first fights sometimes don't get a lot of love, even if, you know, sometimes they're good or bad, you know. But it was good at least that they got there early and they got to see that because I mean it was almost a 5 year. It needed just a little bit more. Like it probably needed like a knockdown, but it was close because them motherfuckers were battered. Like
they were, yeah.
You know, like Ramos probably needs a soft touch and. Crowley was looking like Rocky Dennis, like under his eyes. Like
Rocky Dennis. Ramos an old 31 though. He's only 31, but he's an old 31. It feels like.
Yeah, no, he's old. Yeah, he's. That's what I'm saying. Like,
you playing with his nephew, like he's staying young somehow.
Forever young. With that,
because ain't no way you could be an old 31 training with his nephew like
his
that.
His nephew's a monster. We'll talk about him soon. But yeah.
But the funny thing is too is like, I mean, it's not like Ramos is just a couple fights away from giving Ugas all trouble too. So it's not like he's not. I mean,
he almost had Ugas out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
He hurt him.
Yeah, so
go back to fucking shout outs to Pat with the goddamn Fuck, nigga, jeez. Forgotten Fades. Y'all go to the articles on fucking ringgameradio.com and y'all gotta check out that Baron-Check Abel Ramos fight. Like Pat did a great article on that shit. And if you ever running out of them, whenever it's a slow boxing weekend and one's not coming up, but if you need a good fight to watch, then there's a bunch of listed fights with articles that Pat penned himself talking about the fights, and that's one of them. So it's good to see Ramos have a great fight back then and still giving you a great fight now. So salute to him.
Exactly. So definitely salute both men for the effort. Crowley, it's getting a little emotional in that post-fight interview. Like, dude,
I'm not gonna lie, that was a tough listen.
That was a lot.
Really, really tough listen.
That was heavy, dog. That was real heavy.
But it was like it was good, honest emotion. So I can't make fun of it or anything like that. Like, dude.
And Jim Gray kept it short. Like, he didn't let it go like last time. Let this nigga go the whole Capadonna Winter Wars verse. Like, honestly, that would have ruined the specialness of the moment if the dude got a chance to just really just unload and just go on and on. It just you were able to just feel his pain, get a glimpse of that. He gave us a great fight, and since it wasn't too much, it just settled in your heart. Like, you felt it. It was like, okay,
yeah. It didn't ruin the vibe.
Yes, thank you, and that's why I'm just so glad. Like they ain't let nothing fuck up that night except the judge in one of those fights. But,
right.
And Kenny
and even then the scores for Crowley Ramos were good, like 116, 112, 115, 113, and then a 114, 114. So the judges were on point for that fight, so that was good. So everything about that first fight was just class. So it sets it off for the next fight, and the one that's the most controversial fight of the night.
Yeah, I'm ready to get into this one.
Hold on, you ain't gonna shout out the chat yet, or we gonna get into it first?
Okay, shout out the chat, Dude.
Oh, nah, because I'm seeing it's like a little busy in here. I salute JP. What it do? Good evening, fellas. Great fight, great card. Boxing won this weekend. God damn it, you're right. Yeah. Salute. Okay, in the ring, Lukey, boxing. Lukey, what it do? Yep. Yeah, gunshot energy. Yeah. Card was worth every penny. Damn right, Android. Chris Brand, Crowley.
Ain't gonna last long, but stays in fun fights. Yeah, if I think too, people were like, were saying like he might actually, because I think that was a limiter for Spence. That Crowley and Spence might be more interesting than we think.
No, it won't.
No, wait. You know what? Fuck that. Nah, Crowley. Nah. I was hard on Crowley in the last. I'm he's solid, but this was the best he looked. He was determined. If he come in there every fight like this,
his chin is tested. And
he's I don't care. Like, you can put him in there with Boots, Stanionis, Ortiz, Thurman. Like, I think those are all fun, entertaining fights.
Yeah, his chin is tested, and he has the talent to make it a fun fight with any one of them niggas. It'll be a good fight.
I was saying before, he should be in the mix for a bigger fight now. Especially after a W like this, he should definitely get a big name.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna last too long, but I get. He could be what's that guy? He could be the American the Cheeseman equivalent, like
the Ted Cheeseman equivalent.
You said the Ted Cheeseman equivalent. I can't with you.
Or salute Henny God. What it do, man?
We didn't forget you though. Yeah, But back
to regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, first opener was a great fight. The second fight, the most controversial fight of the night, easily, with Chris Colbert and Jose Valenzuela. And the funny thing too is, like, for me, because I was over at someone's house. Shout out Mr. Leonidas. I linked up with him, and we had been arguing about Crawford Porter on some random shit. And then as the fight was starting, and then there was like 3 other people there. We were arguing back and forth. All of a sudden, then Rail lands that southpaw left hook on Chris Colbert, and knocked him look like all the way the fuck out. Like, that's what it looked like. And we were like, oh,
yo, he fell so fucking hard. God damn.
Yeah. I mean, I was just like, I was watching it, and then it was in the bar, and like everybody just, once he dropped, everybody was just like, oh, and I'm just like, really? Like, this dude, I was just like,
he had one of those Michael Grant tumbles, like one of those
I thought he was
like with a little bit of Chris Algieri thrown in there for the execution.
I legitimately thought he was done. I was like, he's not getting up after that. Like, I'm surprised he even got up.
He showed up more heart. I mean, he definitely showed, than he did for the Hector Luis Garcia fight. He definitely showed, at least that.
No, he did. Like he didn't sit down and like lay down though, but.
Yeah, he's so hard. I give him that. But show some fucking defense too, nigga.
Yeah. Like the one thing that wasn't because dude was like it's just like in the same way with Figueroa and Fulton. Like Colbert was moonwalking too goddamn much. Like every single time Rayo hit him with that left. Dude was like, you could say he was like wincing and going to the back, and then
he got stunned, dude.
But Rayo was getting tired, and he was getting pushed back at times.
Pat said, I think that was like a Fulton Figgy 2.0-ish in a sense. It was
Fulton controlled the rounds more though. Like
controlled some of the rounds. I feel like people aren't giving him credit.
Dude, Colbert, look. No one's saying Colbert wasn't competitive and he showed heart, but I just see like the scorecards I'm seeing on Twitter. I'm sorry, like y'all making me lose respect for y'all score. Nick, there's no way anybody should have given Colbert 6 or 7 rounds. Like if you give him 4 rounds, cool. I thought he just won 4, even 5, but 6 rounds, 7 rounds.
Yeah, he won 7. He won 7-5.
I seen a motherfucker say he had Colbert winning 7 rounds to 3. I'm like.
Yeah,
nigga!
10.
What the fuck were you watching?
Yes, that definitely.
7. It's like, dude, look, and this is the thing, Pat. Like, what kills me is this: niggas pick and choose when they want to decide when a jab is important. You biased motherfuckers. Goddamn, I hate to fucking always bring up this goddamn fight, but I've seen Canelo get his head snapped from Golovkin for the whole fucking 2 fights, and he'll throw flashy counters back that don't even really hurt a nigga, and people was like, oh well, he won the round. No, you gotta do more than a jab. Well, goddamn, Colbert, same thing. He's throwing his little jab, but then he gets rocked by a counter, and then he's moonwalking, then he, throws a little combo. So it's like, hold on. So he's trying to control the round with a jab, and he's getting rocked with damn haymakers and counters, visibly being hurt, and y'all still giving him the round. You can't control the round if you're getting hurt.
Okay, now, so here's what I'm gonna go into my little thing about consistency and how people like to pick and choose. You said people like to pick and choose with certain things, like with a jab. I love how people like to pick and choose when somebody controls most of the round or does well enough for most of the round and then gets rocked in 10 seconds and they want to give them the round off those 10 seconds.
I was going to say, the 10th round, who do y'all give the 10th round to?
I gave the 10th round to Colbert.
Me too.
People want to give him people gave Rayo the 10th round because of that last 10 seconds.
I couldn't.
Come
Colbert
on
won that. Yeah, Colbert won.
I mean, 10 seconds falls within 3 minutes. And hold on, is this the boxing business or the hurt business? I like your example, and I raise you another example. Timothy Bradley, Manny Pacquiao won. Round 1. Bradley is moonwalking, doing his thing, outboxing Pacquiao. Pacquiao looked like he just showed up for a check. Just stalking him, can't cut off the ring for shit. Just stalking him. Last fucking final 11 or 12 seconds of the first round, Pacquiao lands like 4 lefts that rock fucking Bradley, wake up the whole crowd, and visibly have Bradley shook. Most niggas gave Pacquiao the first round because of that.
I don't think I did. I don't think I gave him the first round though. Like at
least you're consistently bad at scoring or measuring the impact of hurt punches.
LB, you gave Colbert, you gave Rayo the 10th round.
I gave Rayo. Rayo had the 10th round because he was weaving and hooking him like 6 times in a row. Like he was just weaving, hooking.
And then no one's giving Rayo credit for that goddamn stabbing jab to the body he had on Colbert for like half the fight.
he was missing. He was missing towards the end, but I feel like on the scorecards, I gave Ryo maybe round 1 and 2, and then 4, 6, 7, and 10. So it was close. I feel like it was closer than unanimous.
I thought it wasn't like PBC draw. I thought it would be a PBC draw.
Right. It would have been a good draw, but I don't think. It was more of a draw, but he didn't do enough. Like the knockdown, it wasn't a clean knockdown. It was cool, but
what? Well, that was a clean ass.
Look, that was one of the cleanest knockdowns.
What do you mean?
Nah, I don't like knockdowns like that. What was it? A chest shot? Like no.
No, nigga, what the fuck, dude, man, like what?
In the second round, right?
No, in the opener, like the opening round. Yeah, no, that was.
He dropped him so hard, like bro, like this nigga Crawley. I'm sorry, Colbert.
He was lying there like a newborn.
Listen, he got up in 1 round, so it's not like that was enough to win the fight.
Well, no,
but you like, hold on, you sounded like drunk PJ right now, like.
Oh boy.
Like nah, I'm just trying to like shout outs to PJ. Fuck that. I'm sorry. Like, but I'm
my bad. I'm mixing up the names, nigga. I need trunk colors in the bottom left corner, nigga. Hook it up.
Basically, Colbert was alright. Like he had heart, and he did make a stand, and he was in some of these rounds. But there was times where he would win the first minute, he would get hurt in the second minute, then he would come back and try to win the third minute of the round. And it's like it's too inconsistent. Like there's 10 rounds in a fight. You can't get hurt 5 of those 10 rounds, or 6 of those, or 7 of those 10 rounds. Which it seemed like he was getting hurt every other round.
Right. He was getting hurt way more. He was getting hurt way more.
Some of those rounds, I don't think he was hurt. He didn't take the punches well. He
was getting stunned.
It hurt. Like
every punch was just stopping him.
Who'd you pick, Pat, to win this fight? Or who'd you thought won this fight?
I thought Rail won this fight, man. Like on some like 96, like 93-ish type. Like that's. Yeah, that was. I mean, that's what I was expecting. So then, when I heard 95, 94, I'm like, okay, maybe they're just gonna give it to him by 1 because of the knockdown. You know. Yeah. But I wasn't expecting. Yeah, Chris Colbert didn't do enough for me to think that. Oh, I mean, he did have what 1 good round where he did box up Rail for like the whole 3 minutes. But
honestly. To the eye, he looked like the better fighter. That's probably why they gave it to him.
Who'd you pick, Pete?
He just looked better.
I gave it to Colbert. I don't care. So
he looked 95,
better. 94. And I even have the exact rounds I gave Colbert and what rounds I gave Ryan.
I think I kind of leaned towards Colbert, but it could have went either way. I thought it was a draw, but
it's really the third and the 10th round, really the swing rounds. Or was it either the 10th or either the 3rd or the 4th?
Oh my god, like that nigga got hurt too many times for y'all to be caught up on swing rounds. Like, I know what it is. Like, yo, boxing, you guys gotta stop with these fucking style preference over what's actively being effective in the round.
Who did you give the 3rd round to?
Y'all that give somebody a round because his jab looked pretty.
I gave the 3rd round to Ryo.
Okay.
To me, Colbert was controlling the pace for a majority of the round time. I mean, I don't know, for a good amount of the rounds. Yeah, he got hurt a few times, but I think.
Hold on, wait. You said he got hurt a few times. What is that like?
He got hurt. You know, it was similar to me. It was similar in a sense of Fulton and Figgy. Obviously, Fulton, he's not the boxer Fulton is. I'm just saying it's similar in terms of getting hurt as opposed to controlling the round, majority.
But see, the difference is. There was only maybe a few moments where Colbert would recover and he would fire back, and he's really firing it back at Rayo, and it was because he was doing it. It wasn't Rayo letting him.
That left hook was working when he threw it a little bit.
Rayo let the nigga off the hook a bunch of times, but even then, he still won.
I see where Pete coming from, because Colbert was also taking the punches and walking him down while taking the punches. So he can win rounds.
That don't even make no sense.
He's forcing the fight.
There was times where he was where he was throwing combinations and pushing
Right.
Rayo back.
He's controlling the fight.
And then Rayo, this was, and you know what?
Listen,
I believe you niggas saying Rayo wasn't skillful. So Rayo would go like this. You know what? I could be pretty and do my head movement and shoulder roll and do this, that. And he was turning into fucking Sergio Mora instead of fucking Sergio Martinez.
Man,
and come forward and bomb this nigga out.
Rayo is a poor man's Ryan Garcia. Like, oh my
Dude, Rayo is way more. Dude, Rayo is actually moving his head, using angles. Like, I don't know what y'all didn't see none of that? He was making Colbert miss at times.
He didn't look like the more skilled fighter in the fight, though. Colbert looked like the more skilled fighter.
Honestly, their skill level was right here, like both the same to me. Cause dude, if you
Colbert looked like the better fighter, and Colbert looked like the better fighter. He had the better technique, but I don't think
Colbert looked like he could take a better ass whooping.
Yeah, no, he was losing rounds. He was losing rounds, but he
getting his ass kicked.
He looked good doing it. That's why the judges gave him the fight.
What the fuck? What is this white man can't jump shit with you niggas looking good getting your ass whooped? This nigga was
if a nigga rocks you,
highlight out his hair.
If a nigga rocks you in the first 30 seconds of the fight, you like, oh fuck, and you're like, all right, let me figure out how to make it through the rest of the round.
Khalifa was getting his ass whooped.
Listen, he understood. I guess he understood the judges he had and what he had to do to win the rounds.
Get the fuck out! No, you're giving this nigga Canelo plot armor.
I'm not saying I judged the fight like I would say it was more of a draw than anything, because both them niggas.
And that's still bad.
Niggas was hitting it.
But it's more just acceptable bad.
But both them niggas was hitting. Both them niggas was hitting, and Colbert did look better. But
Colbert didn't look better though. Colbert looked like fucking Bambi on roller skates. This nigga hardly ever could get his legs back. There was only maybe, and he never could sweep rounds. He could only win one round, get his ass whooped next round, come back and allegedly win the round after that. Like, that was like one of the worst fucking performances I've seen from a so-called elite fighter. Like y'all just being so blind with the score and just make me really just go in on this nigga, and I don't mean to, but fuck it.
But I will say so. The crowd sure as hell did not agree that Colbert won. Like,
nigga, the poll, nobody, dude, get the fuck out of here. Goddamn style preference.
We did have a poll on that, huh?
Yes, bring them fucking poll results out, man.
All right, go ahead. I'll go ahead. And it was, who did you score the Colbert Valenzuela fight for? And the options were either Colbert or Valenzuela. And with 102 votes, 85% said Valenzuela won. Over 15% they scored it for Colbert.
I was like, what, 15 votes?
That's the narrative. There's a narrative though with that. I don't know,
dude. Honestly, like, just accept you're on the wrong side of history. Like,
I can see
y'all in the deep minority.
I can see.
I'll be that then.
I can see why they say he won. Again, I thought it was a draw, really, or either way. It was
should have had a draw option, but nah, because enough motherfuckers thought Rayo won that.
With the knockdown, that kind of takes away from the like it being a draw.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's hard to say.
That's what make it so worse, because you have to really just bend over backwards and give Colbert rounds. Well, you're literally giving him 6 and 7 rounds.
Colbert went on all the cards 6-4, I think. So.
And that's it. Colbert ain't win those 6 rounds.
Yeah,
it really was like 5. Well, yeah, I mean,
you can give Colbert 4 or 5 rounds. 6 rounds, style preference, bad scoring, whatever. You're going into that territory when you're giving him 6 rounds. I'm just being completely honest. Like the fight, like, he was not in control of that fucking fight like that to win rounds.
He won the last round.
Barely. Nigga almost had nigga was on a stretcher almost, standing right side up in the corner.
So we can agree he won the first. He won the.
No, he didn't win the last round to me. If I almost kill you in the last 10 seconds.
You just said he did. So he won the last round.
I didn't say that. I said he barely won for y'all niggas. I haven't said he won the 10th round. The motherfucker barely won 4 rounds to me.
Let's break it down. Okay. Rayo, first 3 rounds agreed by everybody, correct?
I don't know. I'm gonna give Colbert second and third.
Not agree for me, because I gave Colbert the second round.
Colbert won second or third, if I recall correctly.
He won one of the earlier rounds. Then he copped some of the mid rounds. He was in the fight. It's just the thing is he couldn't completely win rounds like that. He would always win a round when Rayo was being lazy or stupid, and he'll box just a little better than Rayo hurt him.
It wasn't clear rounds. I don't think most of the rounds weren't clear, honestly. I mean, first round obviously for Rayo, but most of the other rounds, other than a couple, there's a lot of swing rounds, as King P would say. I felt like.
Right. So is it really a robbery, or was it just too close of a fight to call?
No, it's a robbery. Look, you could have a close fight with still a fucking loser.
But look, it's 10 rounds, too close to call. It's like, nigga.
They have 4-round fights. Like, somebody, look, you either score a fight good or bad. Like, you either know what the fuck you're watching or you don't. Obviously, people just have a style preference.
All right, so
or it's some type of bias. Like, I don't know.
You think it's a robbery?
No, not
Pat, you think it's a robbery?
Yeah.
Pilot.
No.
Shut up, word.
Hell yeah! What the fuck?
Yeah, like, I mean, like, pretty much, the only people that thought that he won were, besides the judges, were Colbert's team. Like everyone,
Pinky and fucking Pilot.
Yeah, Colbert was,
again, with the caveat, I think it could have went either way.
No, nigga, don't say that. What'd you vote for?
I think I voted for Colbert.
But look, a knockdown is not always enough to win a fight, nigga. Y'all know that.
Yeah, we know that.
We knew that, nigga. Come on, man.
Well, whatever. All those poll people and all those cryos for cryo can cry about it later.
Yeah, that little skirmish at the, this, that, and then, that thing, Chris Colbert drops the N-bomb to this nigga, and I'm just like,
You need a rematch because of the fuckery, like.
And Jim Grayson.
No, the funny thing was like, this is like classic Colbert just being Colbert. It was like, I was going to give him a rematch, but after how he's crying, I'm not going to give him a rematch. It just sticks his tongue out.
like that's the fuckery. Like, but it's like, if Colbert's smart, you won by the skin of your teeth. You robbed the bank, nigga. Just run. Mm-hmm. Yeah, run for it.
He's going to fight Hector Luis. He wants the rematch with Hector Luis Garcia, even though I know he's got.
He wants to go back to. He wants to go back down to 134. Or sorry, 130.
Yeah,
and then go do it. If he squares up all this. I mean, dude, how you be so fast and yet so slow on defense? How are you so fucking hittable?
He's slick. He's like the most unslick fighter in the game.
No, he's not fucking slick. Like, what do you mean?
You tried to fight slick, but he's not really slick. That's what I'm saying.
He's a fucking poser. Like, God, y'all making me really go off on this nigga. Like, I can't believe I even wasted my art skills drawing a picture of this motherfucker. Like, God damn, I should have drawn some defense on this nigga. Like, fucking disgust me. Let's talk about the next shit, man.
Yeah, the next fight though was probably the most decisive ass whooping on the card.
Yeah,
it was a whooping. It definitely was a whooping. I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, this was the I told you so. Like, of course, we're talking about Joey Spencer and Jesus Ramos. The nephew of Abel Ramos. Man,
I already know what category for the end of the year awards this going to be. Spoiled on the Vine award.
Yeah, like, I mean, like I said, because we've all complained about Joey Spencer for years. Like, dude would be like, he was getting, he's prospect of the year. And then he because he was on all the FS1 cards, and sometimes he'd struggle.
Bolton was letting him have it on Twitter.
Yeah,
he was prospect of the year for 3-4 years.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, ain't no way, and there's no step up fights where, at least with Jesus Ramos, his last four opponents were respectable opponents. Like, he won clearly. And you can gauge where he is, in his progression.
Bro, he fought 2 fights ago. He fought the guy that's fighting Sebastian Fondora. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna fight.
Yeah, and beat him. So it's like, so it's like, we knew who he was. So it was like the shit was gonna get uglier than a masterpiece sneaker, and that's exactly what happened, man. Yeah, I don't know what Spencer was doing in this camp though, but his head was not off the line. His hands were down. He was taking punches face first, and that got him dropped with, I think it was like the left hook or whatever.
He was walking in the traps nonstop.
Yeah, wrong game plan to me. Just I picked him, I got it wrong, but he wasn't over his head in this fight. He had all the attributes, all the skills. Just bad game plan to me, honestly.
Yeah, and further, I think Ramos treated him like a sparring partner and like a rookie.
He basically was.
Yeah,
he was learning the most easy. He was letting Spencer get comfortable, landing a little bit, getting him close, and just teeing off on him.
Spencer's best shot, and it barely phased him because Ramos had the size advantage too. So that was another thing. So you stay in this motherfucker's wheelhouse, you're gonna get your ass whooped. And
that's a big dude, man. That's a big dude. He's 22 years old too. That's a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
Why would you try to walk down and smother a much bigger, stronger, more experienced guy from the first fucking round?
Yeah, that was a poor game.
When has that ever been effective in the history of boxing? Or just throwing hands, like not even boxing. I mean, the niggas at the park throwing hands, cafeteria, the break room job. I mean, I've never seen no one with that approach. Like, ever.
And then Jesus Ramos just slowly beat his ass. Like he had his eye, his nose, and his mouth bleeding. Like this shit, with
minimum effort.
Yeah, it was a crime. It actually went to 7. It could have been stopped like at the round 4 or some shit like that. Because
I know. Hey, I'm glad it went to round 7 because I put in the bet for that for a round 7.
You did win that bet.
So and I got some money. I got some money off that. So thank you for stopping.
Spencer hung tough, like.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is Spencer. He asked for the fight, which is admirable. But he was tough though. But it was getting downhill.
The only thing I'll say I was wrong about is, for the longest, I was calling Joey Spencer the U.S. version of Josh Kelly. Well, I was wrong because he's not even that good. So
yeah, I mean, Josh Kelly at least avoided shots most of the time.
At least Josh Kelly be competitive with his step ups though too. Even though he would lose or get a gift, at least he kind of showed he belonged in the room a little. Like,
yeah, this was bad. I mean, this guy Ramos is a monster at 154. I think he's Did we
even talk about Ramos like a monster for him to lose like this? Like we know Ramos is that dude, and he's becoming that dude. But I mean, this was like a Boots type of destruction, walk through the park type shit for him.
This was a beatdown.
Yeah, Spencer. I felt him because I know he was in his corner, kind of emotional after that. But bro, no one told you to come in with that horrible gameplay. Like, no one told you to these punches like that. Like, what is your problem? Like,
the investors, they wanted him to step it up, man. Like, I honestly think that's what it is. Like, I don't know why.
Well, it
just came out of nowhere.
He's like the one. Did you see? College ball, red shirt senior. You're like, this nigga been in college for the past 5 years. 6 years.
Facts. But honestly, now, like, Spencer, like, I know he said his father trains him. Like, nah, he gotta get a new trainer. Like, that type of ass whooping warrants a new trainer, and he probably needs to drop a division because 154 is not the type of division to be taking ass whoopings.
No, he's in that. He's the size. Look, bro. We can't play this damn drop division game. Like, you dropping the divisions, but you still got the same flaw. Like, Cobra went to 135. He still can't. He's still hittable. Spencer, if you spoiled on the vine at 154, going to 147 or 160 ain't gonna help. Like, no, fix your problems at 154.
Yeah, I mean, I hope, because like I said in the preview, because like I was not a believer in Spencer, and like I said, 154 is too live a division for someone like him who's never had any real progression.
His body too dense. Like, he ain't going down, and if you can't handle no 154 big 154 puncher, then he'd probably lose to Spike Sullivan at 160.
Probably would. He probably would.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Joe, he has the counters, he has the speed. It just, he got so used to fighting guys who he could just impress or just blow away with his natural talent. And
they were always tailor made for him matchmaking wise. It was a guy who was there to get hit. What y'all think about Ramos? Like, he's at 22? Should he fight I mean, he beat Mendoza, but should he fight the winner of Fundora Mendoza, or should he like just kind of take it a little slow?
I mean, he's not. I wouldn't put him in there against Fundora. That's
Not
a little
yet.
too early for
Not
that.
yet. People are
Like
That's a fight of the year, like ready to happen. If
he might need one more. Like,
I would like to see him in there against someone like a Gaucher or a Sergio Garcia.
Right, yeah. Good names, yeah.
That's solid names. Yeah,
I was thinking Lubin Arias, but I think the fight's taking place at 160, so maybe not. Like the winner of a Lubin Arias type of fight.
Yeah.
Now, didn't Goucher get a win? Like Goucher's a good win.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
that's a King P. Yeah. Good. That's a good one.
Because honestly, I mean, I'm not gonna I'm still gonna hold the brakes on Ramos and I like Ramos, but honestly, this fight told me more about Spencer than it did about Ramos.
Yeah, it did.
So
easily.
I'm not gonna act like I forgot Ramos's struggles against Santa Maria and some of the other guys. So like,
see, and that's the thing. Like, I'm looking at Spencer, like, dude, like, you low key was given a little semi blueprint to at least show you what could be effective in stretches, and you're naturally bigger, stronger. Maybe you should implement that. That's why when I saw him just go straight at dude, I'm like, you're not even going in to try to swarm him. You're going in and just hanging in there with him. Like, if you're gonna swarm somebody, swarm. Like, throw. Like, I don't see any overhand rights on tall niggas no more. Like, where did that punch go? Like, but you feel me though, right? Am I missing something?
No, because when you were saying that, I was thinking it in the head. I was thinking in my head, you should throw overhand. You know? But before you said that, I was like, you definitely.
Bro, like, watch some fucking Brian Jennings fights or something. Like, get in there, like, get the overhand popping left hook to the body, like, like, goddamn, like.
Yeah, there was nothing, and like I said, and he just got a real ass whooping now. You know, and truthfully, he's gonna need that ass whooping. Like, he's gonna be okay. I need to go. Yeah, I need to work on my defense. I need to work on my defense. Is pretty much his biggest thing. Like, you know, but
and ring IQ, because that game plan. Like, I don't care who came up with it. Like, this is the thing with boxing. Like we love the trainers, coaches, people on the outside looking in, but at the end of the day, if you try something out and you immediately see that shit's not working, you're in there in the ring. You gotta live and die with that ass whooping, right? Something gotta ring off in your head. Like, look, man, this shit ain't working. I don't know what the fuck Pops got me doing, but look, it's a big ass Mexican. Nope, I can't. Let me go back and do my shit. But that's why I can't really, you still got something got to register in your head. Like, yo, let me try something else. Like that's boxing,
Yeah, no, easily, man. So yeah, man, it was just like, it was almost like it was almost getting uncomfortable to watch. But it's just like, Joey Spencer
kind of sad to watch after a while.
Yeah, but it was just like pretty much it's like, yeah, I told you so. Like, pretty much he validated everyone's opinion of him. Like, hey, it's like this guy, he's not the goods, and he did it, and he did that in spectacular fashion. Just bleeding. Like, it was just ridiculous how much he was bleeding from that ass. And Ramos it was so nonchalant too. It wasn't like Ramos broke a sweat. It's like, give him a little movement there, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's all he did, and he did what he had to do, man. Yeah, so, but still, it was like I said, it was entertaining for what it was. Like, it wasn't like a drop off. Like, everyone could see, it was like
it's an entertaining beat down.
But where they stopped it, because it was getting to the point though, like maybe a couple more rounds, and Spencer might needed like a real ER visit, because he was. Yeah, it was getting to that point, so they stopped it. Thankfully, his father stopped it just in time, before, because like no one wants to see him get like destroyed like that. So, but yeah, no, it was a good little. It should have not been the co-main event though. That should have been an opener though. That's the only negative thing.
I feel you, but on paper, it's too undefeated. Too, like Spencer was saying, it's the battle of the PBC young guys, and
right.
So we can't help the fight turned out like that. Like, I just felt like I wish Spencer kind of went down swinging a little more. Like he kind of just run game plan and he stuck with it and just ho-hummed it down. He didn't, you know, he didn't try to just break. Like he tried a few punches, but he just kind of just quietly took his beating.
Yeah, you know, and it's admirable, but the fact that they asked for this fight was admirable. So,
the investors asked for this fight. He didn't ask for this fight. Trust me, man. He didn't ask. The investors like, hey, look, man. Like, we be on message boards. We be in these chats. We be on these Twitter spaces. We listen to Ring Gang Radio. Hey, man, you gotta shit or get off the pot, bro. Like, hey. Like the next pay-per-view's coming. We got another white boy on there. The Caleb Plant guy. Yeah. You know Canelo. He fought Canelo. Yeah. We're gonna put you on the co-main event, and it's your time. Yeah, it's your time until it isn't.
Right, and that's a good segue, of course, into the main event. You know, where one Caleb Plant, faces, so, and I hate this nickname, the Mexican Monster. I hate that. That's too fucking generic. Like, that's
stop giving niggas other people's fucking nicknames while they're still boxing.
Boxing has only one monster.
Thank you. Yeah. God damn it! It wasn't cool when y'all said Hit Manhattan, but at least Tommy was already retired. But just stop it. Like, get this nigga a new fucking nickname. I mean, Mexican Monster. No,
I didn't like how we had two Magic Men at the same time. Like,
yeah.
Yes. Oh my. Thank you. Oh my God. And you know what? I remember them getting into it on Boxing Talk, and I'm like, these niggas. Y'all can't fight each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, 175, 140. Like, why are y'all doing? Like, Greg Leon, why are you entertaining this? Like,
yeah. That's a name from yesteryear.
I mean, a throwback.
Yeah, that's the you don't hear much from anymore, and because he fucked up his own bag years ago.
Never forget that bastard damn spoiled the goddamn Contender fucking finale.
Yeah.
Jeez, nigga.
I am so glad I missed that when he was doing it. So I still went.
What the fuck? I just hated fucking scrolling on that site that day. But yeah, my bad. But back to the business though.
But yeah, Mexican Monster David Benavidez, and of course, obviously the fight had a lot of hype. A lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, Plant is going to just box dude up," or Benavidez hasn't faced anyone. Or in this case, like, Benavidez has stamina for days. Plant stamina is trash. He can't punch, and this, that, and the third. So yeah, it was split. Like, even, I knew something was crazy when the Ring magazine panel, there was like 22 of them, and all of them, with the exception of one, voted for Benavidez, and the one didn't even vote for Plant. It was just undecided. So I was just like, oh, this is interesting. So, and then, there had a lot of people, but you had a lot of boxers that was like, oh yeah, Plant's going to outbox him, this, that, and further. Like, a lot of boxers were really believing in Plant's boxing ability like that. So it was just like yo,
check the poll. The poll results is what surprised me. Like, I know we usually do that at the end, but bring up the poll that pause the poll before we get into this.
Wait, hold on. You mean like who
our
poll would win?
Our poll.
Yeah, the Ring. I'm sorry.
This nigga crazy.
The what's this shit? The goddamn Twitter prediction poll.
Yeah.
And a lot of polls. I'm looking for a lot of polls.
Hold on. Oh, okay. So yeah, the prediction poll of who people thought would win. There was 73 votes. And 53% voted for Plant, and 47% voted for Benavidez.
A lot of polls went for Plant. I feel like I've seen a lot of polls.
That's fanboys. Them fanboys.
Nah, but it was very, very close.
Yeah, it was.
But I've seen one
too close for comfort. Like, I didn't like.
And that's
really that like where all this a Plant fan, like, where did that come from?
Well, no, I always like it when they're like this because it like. when we get these prediction polls and they're that close, it's a true indictment. Like it's an indictment for a 50-50 fight. And I like that. Like that's how you know it's a true 50-50 fight. Because usually most of our polls always have one person that's clearly that people think is going to win. Rarely does it run that close. And for the longest, it was like 50-50. Like it was 50% for both of them. Like because I would check them throughout the day. Like so it was that's how you know it's a 50-50 fight. So I always like that.
Yeah, and also we had our own predictions. Like me, I mean, like I said, I'm not a I've never been a believer in Caleb Plant like at all. Like I didn't think Dew was it in any type of way because all that slickness, but he gasses out after 6 rounds. Like it's like clockwork, like with him, and you would think too, like I mean, and Dew was the slightly the heavier fight, which was a surprise too, because we were all thinking like, God damn, Benavidez weighs less than Plant. He's like 166. Like, did he overtrain? Is his stamina and work rate going to be affected? Or is he going to rehydrate all crazy? I mean, the answers are he didn't rehydrate because he looked normal for what he comes in with.
Yeah, he looked in good shape.
Yeah, and his work rate and stamina was on point
as always.
Yeah, and of course, we saw immediately, why Plant and team wanted the bigger ring, because Plant got on his bike early, but to his credit though, I mean, Dew was boxing Benavidez up in the first half of the fight.
Sticking and moving. And he wasn't like he wasn't running. He was definitely
he was jabbing to the body. He was he kept the jab in his face. He was having Benavidez kind of reset because when you have Benavidez over there, tell him to come to the center of the ring and mashing his gloves together, like he was getting frustrated.
Frustration, yeah.
One little criticism or one little thing that for Benavidez. I don't have many criticisms of him for that fight, but I will say I feel like he could have done a better job at cutting the ring off.
Yes.
If he would have just incorporated the jab and just started with the jab when he was backing him in. It could have done a world of wonders for him and actually successfully cutting the ring off. But a lot of times he was kind of letting Plant off the hook by not throwing the jab.
You're absolutely right too. But I also think too that maybe because the ring was a lot bigger than he's probably used to. Maybe so he was probably maybe how he was in his own way he was trying to cut off the ring, but because there was so much there was a little bit more space, that was allowed Plant to do his he go on the ropes and then glide off or go to the left or whatever. I think that's probably what
it was kind of like the round after the 4th or 5th round when Plant was taunting him hard when he was kind of taunting him kind of hard. But the round after that shit stopped real quick. Yeah,
but then the worst thing in Plant's plan. And Brad has, and this is Brad. You got what the fuck, is the fact that they tried to clinch him repeatedly. And I'm not saying that clinching is not a good strategy. Like if you get hurt, you should clinch immediately so you can stop an attack. But if you're over there just jabbing and then clinching, that's some John Ruiz shit. And
honestly, he wasn't even doing it as good as John Ruiz because
John Ruiz was
mastered that shit.
Yeah.
At least John Ruiz would land the double jab and the right hand before he would clinch. Plant wasn't hitting shit really. They would just keep away punches that win rounds because the other guy's doing less.
Right. And even when he was trying to, because Plant likes to throw his left hook. And even when he was throwing the left hook, he was either not hitting Benavidez flush, or even when he did hit him flush, it just didn't have much of an effect.
Benavidez was and then what was the worst thing too is every time he clinched too, because David Benavidez has a decent inside game and can work in the clinch. So basically, David Benavidez was hitting him with shots he shouldn't be getting hit with, to the head, to the body, and shit like that. All debilitating shots. And that kind of set off what you call a rolling avalanche of errors.
Yeah, well, that whole thing was annoying. Of Benavidez wasn't even he didn't even really get the chance to really inside fight as much as he could have because our lovely referee liked to push himself into the action and was just all over the place, all up in the videos. Like
he was being K Diddy for sure. K Diddy for sure. I
don't know what. Yeah, Kenny Bayless. I mean, I know he's 73 years old, but clearly, he's
that old.
Yeah.
He was.
Oh man, still his old ass down, yo.
He was trying to give. He was giving Plant really like an advantage because
too many breathers.
He didn't warn. Yeah, he gave him a couple breathers. He didn't warn him, did he? I heard the spitting. About.
No, he didn't. Like no, but like he warned him for going low.
The low blow, which was intentional.
That was it. Like
to get some more breathers.
It was just like I hate it because it's like you need to decide what you want to do. Either let them fight it out, or just break it up. Don't do the maybe I'll do like. It was just so inconsistent, and that gets so annoying. They're already in there. Let them fight it out. Like, what are we doing? Like,
you see how the ref for Crowley Ramos was doing it?
Exactly.
That's what we needed in that main event.
Right.
I'll tell you this. If we get the big fight that everybody that's rumored, I don't want Kenny Bayless being the ref for that.
No,
and if he is, I put money on a certain Bud, but
it was getting bad. Even the commentary was calling his performance out, Kenny Bayless' performance out, because it was bad. It was.
I mean, let's be real. Kenny's been bad for a while now.
Yeah.
But like, this was his magnum opus of bad ref.
Bad reference.
Yeah. I could see why Floyd loved this guy as a ref because he was perfect for Floyd.
Yeah.
If you're trying to neutralize a fight, like, cause Floyd's style evolved into just like really neutralizing guys, and if you got somebody that could just help you do that, then shit, your style is even enhanced. Like, you almost got a helper. Like, it's like you're a villain with your damn bodyguard with you.
Mm-hmm. Right,
and you keep hitting the guy, and he's trying to hit you. Then another nigga step in front of you and take the punch. Or he's like, "No, chill."
Plant was basically leaning and holding for a few good rounds. It felt like how Kay Taylor did to Amanda Serrano that one round where she was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like Plant was trying to survive. There was
I mean, I could see why he was holding on for dear life because after the 6th round, because Caleb Plant is a 6-round fighter. Once that 7th round hits. It's like the pumpkin just goes back to the pumpkin. Clock strikes midnight. Cinderella's back to Cinderella.
Yeah, but let me ask y'all this though, because like I ain't gonna lie, I was one of those people who used to be like, yeah, y'all kind of going a little too far with the whole 6-round fighter. Like he still can manage. Like I started noticing he's more like a 7-round fighter. But I guess
he's a 6-round fighter.
When he's fighting somebody good, it turns into a 6-round fighter. Just like Canelo is a 4-round fighter when he's fighting somebody good.
Yeah.
The shit goes lower. Like, and it's just crazy because people used to give Taylor that shit, but Taylor at least give you 8 rounds. But you can see why
Jermaine or Josh?
Jermaine Taylor. And the reason why I say this, and it comes to the next question I'm gonna ask, because like when Jermaine Taylor used to box, you could see he got that whole nervous bounce, and he eats up mental energy. Mm-hmm. So you kind of see where that energy goes. And he's also throwing hard fucking bombs and pumping a consistent jab, like decent work rate. So you see it. But with motherfucking Plant, what is he doing so much to really be burning out? Because he's not moving. He's not Laura or what's that nigga? Iron Boy, Caldron. He's not Caldron around the ring.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know.
I had to say it though. Like
bad stamina. Like his stamina is just like like when you play a video game, everybody got like 80, at least 80 stamina. This boy's stamina is like a 70. A 68.
Yeah, because he ain't doing much to be like burning shit out.
Yeah,
that's why I'm
really doing anything. Yeah.
I mean, either that, or he just really thinks a lot, and it burns him out or whatever.
Maybe so, because he don't even feel like a thinking fighter. Because a thinking fighter usually be more crafty, more have a better punch selection? Like
better punch selection, yeah, better punch.
Yeah, you don't see that shit.
I mean, Plant's punch selection to me is not very good.
Yeah, especially like he didn't even throw punches. I feel like for a round and a half towards the end of the fight, like 2 rounds. I feel like he barely threw when he was tired. Like when Benavidez was getting to the ass pause, yeah, he wasn't throwing.
Yeah,
Plant just looks like a good fighter, capable. Like he low key like the advanced version of Joey Spencer in a way.
I mean, I was never. I
said never for the cast.
I mean, I was never fooled by White Boy Rick. Like, I right now, I was never fooled by that. I knew what I was.
I mean, yeah, he better than the Jason Litzau's and shit, but.
What do y'all give Benavidez in terms of a grade on a grade of the fight? How do he look to y'all?
Oh, he got an A. You know, he got an A to me. Like after this, he just
KO would have got an A regardless of fucking Bayless.
I give him a B+.
Me too. See what the hell? I'm on your way. If I give him,
because the ass whooping that Benavidez gave Plant was it was a brutal ass whooping. Like
he still busted him up. Yeah,
he beat him up.
I thought he was pretty. I thought he did a good job, pretty composed for the most.
I could tell he wasn't on his like A game. Like he wasn't like engines roaring, but like I almost feel like he beat Plant on his B game and still kind of beat his ass. But I don't like how he had Plant kind of winning in the first half. Like,
you knew that was gonna happen. You knew that Plant was gonna at least be winning.
Yeah, it's
not winning like that. Like, no, cut off the fucking ring.
You know he was gonna show some spots where he was gonna be flashy, nigga. You knew that.
Yeah, but still, man. Like, look. If you're a monster, then you got a lot of monstering to do, nigga. Like, you gotta fucking step to your right. Like, dude, think about. Imagine a prime Golovkin would have just destroyed Caleb Plant.
Yeah,
I would have given.
Think about that shit.
I give him B+ because I feel like there's a lot of room for growth. I mean, I know he boxed with Triple G when he was a young fat kid boxing with all these great.
Yeah, he's past that now. Like he passed that. Like I ain't giving him back.
But I'm saying he got room for potential. He got room for growth still. That's kind of scary.
But then that knockout though would have happened though, because Bayless
fucked it all up.
Most infamous movement was. Plant was ready to go, but this motherfucker stops the fight.
He kept stopping it
until he to get checked out. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like that was.
This is like that Octi Reed fight.
Listen, they should fine referees for doing shit like that. Honestly, that's some bullshit.
He with that move, he ruined a lot of bets or parlays or whatever because Plant was ready to go and he stopped.
They at least they gotta they gotta talk about it, make a press conference, tell this nigga he can't get no more big fights, some shit, cause that shit's some bullshit.
This is Floyd's Ace Boone Coon. He's always gonna be there.
Floyd's retired unless he need him to.
Yeah, Floyd ain't fighting nobody except Chinese migrant. That nigga's chilling.
Oh my God.
That nigga's chilling outside of a Japanese restaurant waiting for the next nigga to come outside and challenge him.
And we'll have it on a Tekken 5 level, on a helipad, on a skyscraper in the Middle East. How that shit look hot. Mitsubishi blimp in the background, nigga.
Honestly, Bayless should just go and just do Floyd's exhibition fights. Just keep it moving with that, because be
a tag team, be the official tag team. That'll be the tag team, box. Let me get another fighter with a ref that be favoring him. Maybe you could get Bradley and that one ref that saved him in the Provodnikov and the Jesse Vargas fights.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. We could get Floyd Bradley now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Both y'all get y'all refs and do y'all thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I was like, damn it, that was a knockout right there. But I mean, either way, Benavidez, even after they still continue where he left off, just
needed more body punching.
Yeah, the ass whooping, and when Plant would clinch now, if I do like Benavidez would just work his way out of the clinch, and even if Plant was grabbing on one of his arm, Benavidez was just like,
fuck off me, eat his ass.
Yeah, that was one. That was a thorough ass whooping, But at the
knock the seeds out of Plant.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boxer Girl. I don't know where you at in the chat, but I remember seeing the tweet, and I was like, yeah, that's bars.
That's a bar, motherfucker.
Nigga, that's why I had to say that's bars. Not the seeds out of plant.
The seeds out of plant. That's
Shot-town stand up.
That's crazy. Shot-town building. That's what's
salute
Boxer Girl.
Yeah, and truthfully, I mean, it was a star-making performance of David Benavidez simply because of the hype, especially the hype that Plant got, and Plant was out there just looking just all fucked up in the game. Like, bro got some years shaved off his career from that.
Into the hospital.
Yeah, but he said he was okay. But I mean, I do like how they showed love and respect to each other after all the bad blood. It was. I
mean, sportsmanship is sports.
What else could you show? The dude beat your ass. You better show him love, respect, even fear, maybe. Like nigga,
a little bit.
At least a little bit. If I don't have you fearing me a little bit after I didn't beat your ass like that,
but I feel like
I didn't beat your ass enough.
I feel like Plant gained some fans because obviously he's white, but also because his chin and heart. You know what I'm saying? His chin and heart. That's all the comments you saw. Was like, damn, Plant got so much chin and heart. I don't
know what it is about Americans that love seeing a good white fighter. I don't get it.
It's American.
Wait. See, above average American white fighter. Yeah. I don't know if I want to call him good at it.
Yeah, he's good.
Like I said, I mean, we said this before in the back.
Nah, nigga. You know what? No. We're not doing that.
So you're saying he's not good because he got 2 losses now?
Nah.
Legends. He lost to 2 legends.
Obi, let me ask you, who would Andre would have fared better against Benavidez than Plant did?
Yes, because Andre's a better fighter than Plant.
That's how I feel.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily, like, look, first of all, Andre fights well for his size, meaning he's still elusive. His offense, he still fights like a big 6'1" athletic southpaw.
He uses his advantages. Yeah,
he even uses his physicality. He could fight on the inside. Caleb Plant takes up too much unnecessary punches. He gave up a lot of body shots to Canelo uncontested for no reason. He didn't even have that against Benavidez this time, and he still got gassed out. So what the fuck? So it's like he looks thicker, swole, body mass dense. I don't know if he lifts weights or something, but I don't know. Maybe he's thinking too much. Like what? Who said that? Pilot?
I said that.
Oh, Pat said that. Maybe he's thinking too much and he need to increase the RAM processor or some shit in his head. Like, nigga, I don't know, but he's not getting the most out of his skills, his size, physicality. Like, it's just not there. He only has one good punch, which is a left hook, which is hit or miss. Mm-hmm. His right hand is nothing to call home about.
Nah, his right hand isn't really good at all.
Doesn't have an uppercut.
Mm-mm.
Doesn't really have a right hook. Doesn't have an overhand right. Like,
so you saying he got the white man starter package and he not really that decent?
He's decent. No. Look,
he's got skills. He
has skills. He could counter. He has eyes. Look, Caleb Plant may be one of those guys who just aesthetically pleasing, where you kind of give him more props than what you should. Like, in all honesty, I'll say this, and he's my go-to guy for a base level example of a good fighter, a solid all around. Chris Algieri's a better fighter than Caleb Plant.
Yeah,
and I say that seriously.
Yeah.
He gets more out of his skills,
out of what he
talent, and everything.
Yeah, because Chris Algieri doesn't rely on his athleticism like Caleb Plant does. And
you could tell, and Caleb Plant does that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's just not as athletic, He's athletic,
and he's not even showing you crazy athletic. Look, it's different if he would like how we used to get on Zab for looking like $1 million for the first 5 rounds, and then it's like the guy's just kind of tough, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna be here, Zab, and you know, the special effects was cool, but this is a 2-hour blockbuster film. Like,
right,
the villain ain't going home this easy. And Zab is like, fuck it. You know what? I'm a little bored now because my blazing speeds and power just ain't wow this nigga and destroy him. Mm-hmm. So let me just mental lapse type shit. And it's no disrespect. Like, we seen this. Like, niggas know. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Caleb Clint, like, is he even doing, like, you're not even blazing niggas out. You're not spitting a Fire 16. You're not killing the first half of your album. And you still falling apart. So, I just want to know, what is it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, and until they figure out what it is, it's gonna be like, it's always gonna be expected. Like, yeah, after the 6th round, bam, he's gonna hit the wall. Like, literally, it's any fighter finish that's going past the 6th round, he's
basically
niggas will fight him harder now.
At this point, I feel like he's basically gonna be fed to Morrell, you know, in a couple fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, I don't know.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, I mean, because. I mean, first it's gonna be
they gotta give him some win. They're gonna give him a couple
they gotta give him like a win or two first. But I feel like, you know, eventually down, you know, I don't see him again. Like Pat said, some years were shaved off his career. I feel like he's gonna have he's not gonna be in the game for too long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like, they have to give him a soft touch because an ass woman like that, they can't put him in next with another like a Morrell or anyone like that, because that
it need to be like a Darrell level challenge to kind of keep him.
You Shish. I was saying Shish.
Dangerous.
The Shishkin guy, or something like that.
That or Andre Darrell, you know.
Stop.
I mean,
has he been fighting?
Let's not.
Yeah, chill.
I don't want to see that.
And Shishkin might just beat his ass. Like,
I was gonna say, even Shishkin is not a soft touch. That's not a soft touch.
Yeah, like.
That's like a pretty soft.
Maybe like a Beck the Bully type.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Give it to a Charlo fight already?
Nah.
No.
Well, Charlo's still coming back at 160.
Yeah, still at 160.
Yeah, but Plant has but whatever it is, Plant needs to make some serious adjustments now, and I mean, hopefully, Bread will actually try to come up with more strategies other than clinching somebody. You know, and trying to
thinking, God, you didn't get hit with an uppercut, which is a running theme,
right? You know, but Benavidez though, Benavidez is definitely ready for a Canelo fight. I mean, although I know that they're trying to say, hey, you know, maybe Benavidez should face like Morrell or whatever, you know, just knock off 2 territories and wait for the winner of Canelo and Ryder. I'm like,
we're gonna get a WBC interim WBA Reggie unification title.
You seen the tweet?
They announced it. Mendoza himself announced it. The WBA president. That's crazy. Right after the fight.
Bivol Canelo 2 almost done.
Yeah.
And then the Mendoza shit, like Pilot just said.
That's wild.
Like it's like these niggas like been trying their damnedest to make the fights that niggas don't want.
But do y'all think he's ready for Canelo? Like ready? Like,
hell, dude, he's ready for Canelo, bro.
Yeah, like you don't think
no, he's ready. He's ready.
I think he's ready.
Yeah, no,
he's ready, dog. Like, fuck this. Like, who else? Like Morrell, and even then, Morrell, Morrell Benavidez is saying Morrell jumps to the top of the line.
No, and I don't know. Morrell probably needs another victory or two.
Let Morrell fight Shishkin.
Yeah, that's a fight for Morrell.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let him beat him. Then it's like, okay, like, and Morrell look like he has the goods. But if I'm Benavidez, I'm on Canelo. Like, fuck this. Like, nah, give me the Canelo fight. He's ducking and feet. Like, look, dude, no one wants to see the Bivol fight. Like,
no, except Canelo. He wants to see that shit.
Yeah.
And Canelo, look. The irony of all of this is Canelo is the one who's always telling niggas that they gotta look good or do this, who you beat, in order to fucking earn a fight. Well, what the fuck has Canelo done to earn a fight with Bivol? He beat Golovkin. And look, the mid is fuck doing so against the oldest version of Golovkin ever.
Yeah, but then of course Bivol will probably take it because you know,
payday.
They're gonna give him the money. Yeah, they're gonna pay.
Yeah,
the money. Yeah. So
I ain't mad at Bivol, but it's just like, damn, we ain't gonna excuse this bullshit either.
Right.
You know, I mean, in an ideal world, you'd have Canelo and Benavidez, and Bivol go fight Better BF. But you know that makes too much sense for that to happen.
Too much fucking sense, because it's like Ryder gets the fight, and it's like
I got Morel in that anyway.
Morel against Benavidez.
Yeah, I got Morel in that.
I guess that's a 50-50 fight for that.
At this point, I would still favor Benavidez over Morel, but the longer
it doesn't happen,
the longer it doesn't happen, the more likely that the tables will turn. It's the same instance for me as Canelo Benavidez. Like the longer Canelo waits to fight Benavidez, the worse it's going to get on him, because it's just going to get get even tougher.
I mean, Canelo. I mean, to me, he's on a downward slope until I see something different.
I'm going to wait until to see how he looks against John Ryder before I make my decision of who I would pick in a fight between Canelo and Benavidez. It's still pretty close to me. I'm still not sure, but the Canelo that fought Triple G is getting his ass whipped.
Yeah,
we'll just go and say the Canelo from 2022.
And
how about
beyond,
that?
Beyond
that whole year.
Yeah, and beyond. Yeah, so far we'll see. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
for a long
he better look guns blazing against Ryder, and Ryder hasn't looked that great to me either. So it's all about who could suck less or some shit. I don't know.
Pause.
Pause. I'm just saying, like these niggas is like looking mid, and it's a pay-per-view fight, and no one wants to see pay-per-view or any big fight on the zone because no one like the auto zone shit, and no one's gonna mistake Canelo Ryder for a big fight.
No.
And also, I think
shout outs, Beth. I see you in the chat.
I bet we ain't gonna see Benavidez on regular Showtime anymore. More than likely, he probably a pay-per-view fighter from now on, especially if numbers come back.
Who we gonna fight to be on pay-per-view again? Oh wait, y'all heard the $750K?
That was not.
That's a rumor.
That's a rumor. No.
Yeah, that's a rumor.
Just like announcing Spence Crawford on that.
It's way too early to talk about it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it does like a little bit more than 500,000.
I could see for 400. I mean, definitely 400.
I mean, I think the numbers will be anywhere between like 300,000 and 500,000. But if it's above 500,000, it wouldn't surprise me.
I'll say between 2 and 4.
What up?
I'll say between 200 and 400K.
It definitely did more than 200K.
Yeah, like I'm thinking this is like high 300s, or we go into like 550.
But Shuttleworth, he was right. This was one of them ones. Last week he was talking about like how sometimes when they try to reach the people that don't watch boxing, they post the shit everywhere that you don't see it normally. And I seen that shit on the Shade Room. I seen that shit on World Star. It was the weigh-ins and shit. I'm like, why the fuck they showing the weigh-ins on World Star? Like,
there was a lot of buzz. That's what I'm saying. There was a lot of buzz.
Right. They was trying to get this shit buzzing. So it was a lot of promotion behind it.
Helped build this fight up a lot. Like, so salute Mike Tyson. Like he's been a big endorser of Benavidez. I think he's the one who gave him the nickname Mexican Monster.
Yeah. That was Jamel. That was funny. Jamel Charles was like, name Mexican Monster, calling him out.
So it's like I can see it, but you know, this fight had a lot of like natural, homegrown, like grassroots buzz to it. Like in the animosity,
4 or 5 years in the making. It was like at least a good 4 years that boxing fans that follow the sport that wanted that, you know, because of the beef.
Yeah, and this is even with a underwhelming All Access.
Yeah, that All Access. Yeah,
they didn't give us another one. They only give us the one.
And the one, yeah, exactly, and it's still.
We always expected another one. Remember we were talking about it, but like, hopefully the second one's better. We even
I thought there was supposed to be a second one because I kind of sworn there was supposed to be a second one, but
the undercard helped sell this fight too.
Yeah,
it did. It helped. It was
early when they announced how good it was early, and Colbert and Rayo was involved.
Yeah, it was a great card. I mean, it was overall.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely salute PBC for this. Like I said, this was. Like I said, everything about this card was like in terms of it was executed perfectly, and we had there were good fights. As you said, we went through all 4 of them, and there were star-making performances. Like pretty much there were performances where you can like, okay, we could say, okay, this is where this fight needs to do next and stuff like that. Like there's a path. Like because it's like you don't want to just throw no random fight in there. It's like everything on this card was like for rhyme and reason. And
the winners you want to see them again. The losers you want to see them
rebound.
Rebound.
Yeah,
he needs a winnable fight. Yeah, Plant needs a winnable fight. I mean, I'm not less of a fan for Plant. I've always liked Plant decently,
Yeah.
But he kind of earned my respect a little bit. I was reading the narrative. I kind of drinking the Kool-Aid. But I don't know. I think he did a good job.
I mean, a lot of people drink the Kool-Aid on Plant, but not me.
I mean, maybe no that. Maybe I sipped a little. I don't think I guzzled a gallon of this shit. But the thing is, you know what? Also, too, it's harder to evaluate guys when you don't see them step up.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Yeah.
And you don't see them fight quality guys, and you notice that Spencer. Look at that situation. It's easy to evaluate Colbert because we've seen him fight quality guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just look at him as one of those hot and cold type of dudes where he could show flashes of brilliance and then get his ass whooped. And Plant looked like he may be on the same
wavelength. Yeah,
you seen a lot of that. Crowley, you seem he's there. He's dead game right there for you. And you're gonna have a tough night if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't have the right game, you saw a lot. You saw an impressive batch of fighters. And you want to see everybody back. Rebound, like you said.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, it's